everyone, today we're going to add some colour pencil to our Sean Williams response to complete it. We're going to practice some blending techniques first, so I'll just show you that. Okay, before we start blending, what I'd like you to do is just on either a spare piece of paper or the back of your sketchbook, I'd just like you to draw a small rectangle at the top of your page. Try and make it quite long because we're going to practice going from the lighter colour to the darker colour across there. And then what I'd like you to do is, again, keep it fairly small because we don't want to spend too much time, but I'd like you to just write either your initials or your name, but please draw it in bubble writing as we'll need to fill in the text as we blend. Okay, so we're going to start with our lighter colour. Before you start, please can you make sure that your pencils are always sharp, make sure they're not getting too blunt, especially for work like this where we want the edges of our shapes to be really, really clear and crisp. Please make sure that your pencils are nice and sharp. So we'll start with the lighter colour, and what I'd like you to do is maybe tilt your pencil on the side a little bit, and we're just going to start by very, very lightly adding the lighter colour all along the edge of that, of one side of the bar there. And what we're aiming to do is try and get the colour as flat as possible. So we'll fill in any white gaps, and we're going to try and make sure that the green is kind of a consistent green the whole way. So you can kind of see here at the minute, this bit is a little bit lighter, this bit's a bit darker. We're going to try and make that all the same. You might notice there that I was kind of moving my pencil in around, like in round marks. This is called scumbling. And the circular marks mean that you kind of cover more grain of the paper, so you should get a kind of flatter colour. I'm going to continue to move the colour out, but I'm making my marks increasingly lighter. So I'm going to go all the way out to the middle of the bar, but make sure that the green is really quite light in the centre there. Hopefully you can see there how I've gone from kind of bolder colour where I've layered up the pencil a lot, and then here I'm keeping the pressure really, really light and layering less. I'm then going to take the colour that I'd like to blend to. So I'm actually going to take the blue here, the harmonious colour, and I'm going to layer on top of what I've just added there with the green, and again really, really lightly so that the two blend very gradually. Okay, what you might find there is that the two aren't blending very gradually. As long as you've pressed light, you've done the right thing. What you can then do once you've kind of done the first layer of the two blending, you can go back in with the lighter colour and then kind of balance out using the lighter and the darker colour until you feel like you've got a really gradual blend. Okay, so what you're going to do next is practice that blending. I've just put an example at the top there, as I think that you should consider two things before you start practicing blending within the letters. The first thing is that you might want to consider, okay, and this is maybe as like an extension for those of you who feel very confident, is to use maybe the lighter and darker version of your colours. So here, for this one, I use the light green and light blue and blended those together. I think that works well. If you wanted more of a challenge and you want to blend between more colours, what you could do is also use the darker or lighter versions of those colours. So here I've got the darker green and the darker blue. So here you can see here there's the dark, there's the light, there's the dark green, and there's the light green. So blending between 4 colours instead of 2. If, for example, you used red and orange for your first blending swatch, then you might want to consider moving into blending into the next harmonious colour. So, for example, blending into the yellow after the orange, or blending into the purple after the red. Completely up to you. I'm going to keep it simple, just using the two colours here. The other thing that you would really like, that you should consider, is whereabouts you're going to kind of transition from one colour to the other. So I think I will have this as my light letter here. I'm going to blend on the two letters in the middle there, and then I'm going to have this one as my shadow letter, the darker colour. Okay.